Okay, so we are being recorded. Today we have Mr. Wade Cornelius, who is an assistant professor of speech from the Northwest campus. He's going to be talking to us today about virtual games. So some of you got a peek at a Kahoot right now, so that's going to be fun. And then I'd like to let you know that you can get points with the Tejano Passport program for attending these sessions. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that link in the chat box so that you can get your points for attending today's session. And after our session, I'll go ahead and provide you with that information on how to get those points. So whenever you're ready, Wade.
Okay, thank you, Gail, and welcome everyone. I hope you can hear me okay. I got to tell you, I live in a rural area, and some days it's hit or miss where my connectivity slows down or it's working just fine. And so hopefully we'll go through without any interruptions today or hiccups. I'm going to start my video, but if it starts to sputter, then I'm going to take it off, and then you'll just see my generic icon on there with everyone else. But as Gail had said, my name is Wade Cornelius, and I do teach speech at Northwest campus. I've taught also at Valle Verde and a couple other campuses. I used to teach elementary, middle school, and high school, and I must have aged 20 years teaching middle school. But one of the things that I found out with my students is that if I used any game-style approach to teaching, it engaged them. They looked forward to those moments in class, and it generally brought us closer together. And I know that during the pandemic, being away from family for extended periods of time, especially our elderly family members who need that connection, if there is some way that we can continue to stay connected to them during this lockdown period, especially since everything just increased recently, then that helps it helps especially with our family members that are living alone or they're isolated in some other way, to feel connected with the family and just to still have the unity and that connection with everyone else. Now, I'm going to show you some games today. Some of them may not work for you. Some of them are just, unless you have a very specific device, it won't work for you. But if you do have, one of the things that I found is if we have family members that are not quite sure how to go online, do not have an iPhone or an Android, one of the accommodations we made is another family member might go over to their house for family game night, and they would share a laptop, or they would bring over an extra phone, or they would share their screen with them in some way so that they could still be included without the frustration of how do I turn on the computer, what's the internet. Those are some of the questions I got from some of my family members as well. So the intention of this talk is simply to give you some ideas of how to connect with family. What you want to do is try to find some consistent way to connect with them, either throughout the day or pick a family game night with your family. Sometimes Friday nights, sometimes Sunday night. Some family members you can do it throughout the week, and I'll show you a couple different games that you can do with them throughout the week, or picking a specific night of the week. The other thing that you might want to consider is mixing up the games. I'm going to show you, can everybody see me on the screen here? And I see it. Manny,
I can see you. We can see you.
Okay, great. Somebody out there in virtual land, what's the name of this game here?
Loteria!
Yeah. So for Loteria, this one is there are some sites online where you can do Loteria, but I have found, especially for the traditional family member that's not really someone that does anything particularly online, is you can play Loteria with everybody in your family as long as everybody has some Loteria cards. We had one or two family members that misplaced their cards. So in order to honor the restrictions with the lockdown, we just went to Dollar General, picked some up, and then put them in their mailbox. This was for the elderly family members. But one of the most basic ways to play it and be inclusive of all your family members is for them to have their own loteria board. And one person, they can do this online, you can do it by phone call, but one person will show the cards. So that one person will show the card like this over the screen. And I'm showing you a very basic way to do it because the intent here is you want to get as many family members involved as possible. And you're going to get frustrated family members that are not, tech savvy. So if they have no idea how to get online, you can have them on speaker for their phone, and you can read out the name of the card to them. And so everybody has their own game board at home, and then they would just put the markers on their game board as you play. And so that's a very basic way to play Loteria with your family members. You can add to it by having some basic prizes. Maybe if somebody wins, it's a scratch-off card, as long as they're 18 or over, or maybe a little gift certificate. And different people from the family each week can volunteer to host the gifts. Well, then how do they get the gifts? You drop it off in their mailbox or you mail it to them. And the intention here is you're just trying to maintain that family connection as we're all in lockdown in some way, shape, or form. So this is one of the easiest and ways to set up a quick family game night and be inclusive of everyone in your family. Just make sure everyone has the Loteria cards. If they don't know how to get on a Zoom meeting for Loteria, then you just have them on their phone and they can listen through speaker and then they have their card at home. I got to tell you that it's gone pretty straightforward for me and my family when we do this. But once in a while, there's a little bit of, how did you win twice? You cheated. But aside from that, I'm sure most family members won't have that. It was more of a brother competition there. I see some of you know what I'm talking about there. The other thing, too, just another tip. Most of your family members will be able to log on to Zoom, and most of them would be able to follow along. And again, I said you can do some of it through the phone, or they can just listen on by putting the speaker on their phone. But one of the things that would really, really help out and make the game go more efficient is if you're hosting this game on Zoom, if you're hosting it on Microsoft Teams, or whatever platform you use, you want someone to type in the chat box the cards, because people will be falling behind and you're going to waste time with, well, what was the last card you called out? Or I say it again. So if someone is there typing out in the chat box all the cards that are being called for each game, it's going to make it a lot quicker. And another quick tip here, if you are using Zoom, Zoom allows you to connect with your family members, just like we're doing through Blackboard Collaborate, and it allows you to do it for free, but you only get 40 minutes. Unless you have a Zoom account, you're only going to get 40 minutes for free on Zoom. Then it's going to kick everybody out of the family game night. So unless you can get your family organized in 5 or 10 minutes and then have a quick 20 to 25-minute game, Zoom probably won't work for you unless you have an account that is paid for. But there are some other virtual ways to meet. You can use FaceTime. I don't know if any of you use any of the other video conferencing apps out there. If you do, you can put it here in the notes. But put in the chat here what you think of Loteria. If anyone else here has used it already for game night, or you have any practices for that, or ideas, please feel free to include them there in the slide. I'm going to go over here and share a couple other images with you if I'm fast enough here on the screen. And Manny said maybe a Blackboard room. And I don't know if Gail's still with us. I know I've got a couple Master Jedis in the room that use Blackboard Collaborate. If you can answer some of these questions too, is a Blackboard room available for students to use for something like this?
Hey Wade, on the
Yeah.
Zoom thing, could you recreate a Zoom meeting immediately after your 40 minutes are up? Would you happen to know that? Just curious.
I
Or is it
haven't
just
had to do it because I have a paid account, and I was
okay?
curious to see if that would happen, and I'm pretty sure you could. And the other thing too that you could do with the Zoom meeting is, but these are the challenges with it. You get a free account with Zoom. You have a 40-minute meeting and it cuts off. Well, now you have the challenge of telling all of your family members, okay, log back in again, and it can get frustrating for them. But that
Okay.
is something that you could possibly do,
Thank you. Okay.
as long as they are okay with that, and especially if you have a family member that it took them 4 hours to figure out how to download Zoom and get in, they might get frustrated and say, I already got kicked out, I'm done for the night.
And they're not tech
But
savvy. It's
yeah.
too much. Yeah. Got you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Manny had said on here that there's no formal rule for Blackboard Collaborate, so if you wanted to use this platform, then it looks like it would be okay to use to gather your family members together. Let me see if I can come over here and share a couple files with you. I did upload them, and let me see if I can locate them here from the ones that I have. I thought that this was quicker than me going to the websites, so I was just going to show you a couple links here. Apple and Android have really competed, but especially Apple has done a fantastic job of having a game center available on their mobile devices. So if you have an iPad, if you have an iPhone, if you have an iPod, you can share with games with either your friends or your family. And one of the things that you could do is play Uno. Now you can play Uno online. I mean, you could Google Uno, virtual Uno or Uno online, and you can find it. But then you're playing with robots, or you're playing with other people that aren't your family members. But if you did it through Apple's Game Center, which again you can have on iPod, iPhone, or iPad, you can play it while you're shopping at Sam's Club, while you're in the yard, and you know, when you're sitting at home. And so you're having that interaction. Nobody has to get onto Zoom. It just connects all of you together through the system on here. So this is a really fun game to play with your family, your friends. You don't have to set a Friday night to do it. You can just do it. You can just do it throughout your day. But a word to the wise: if you start playing these games with your family or friends, it turns into an addiction. So you got to be careful when you are doing this, and moderate yourself. Does anyone put this in the chat? Does anyone play Among Us, or does anybody play Fortnite? Okay, some of you are saying you love Among Us or Fortnite. Yep. I was teaching a class on campus in the fall, last fall, and I asked some of my students, I said, I've seen Fortnite, should I try it out? And one of my students told me, don't do it, sir. If you get onto Fortnite, it's a disease. You won't be able to give it up. So, and I saw that with us too, and I thought, no, I can't do that right now. So you got to be careful with some of those. Let me show you another one here. We're getting a lot of comments on here for Fortnite. Now, here's something that's, well, let me get through the games first. I'm going to share something with you that is probably a unique way to bond with your family. But here's one that is game style, and this one is just a quiz site, triviagames.com, or trivia categories. And if you have a Zoom meeting with your family members Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, what you can do is you can share your screen with them, bring up the categories like this, then you ask your family to vote on a category. Let's say they vote on history. And you click on that history trivia, it's going to bring up questions, and then you can have a trivia night with your family members. Now, people are going to be shouting out the answers all together on there, and then you're going to wonder who got the answer first. So if you were to do this, for trivia categories online, and you can see there's little ads running across. So that's the price you pay for a site that gives you free entertainment like that. But aside from that, you bring this up on your screen, you share it on your Zoom screen or Blackboard Collaborate, you have your family choose a category, and then the person that puts in the chat the answer first wins, and you can see in the chat who would type first. So then you could do something like that. Pablo says maybe a victory royale or a battle royale. Are you still talking about Fortnite there, or are you saying a victory royale for trivia categories? So there's this free trivia site online. I should not have brought up Fortnite because that just caused an explosion of comments in the box there. Anybody play Words with Friends? For any of you people out there that enjoy games like Scrabble or crossword puzzles, I'm glad you like Fortnite, Stephen. I'm not going to get involved because I'll get addicted just along with you. By the way, just a quick aside here, everyone. Myself, I used to be a big gamer, and I won. This was back when you went to the arcade to play games, and I was in a couple tournaments for Mortal Kombat when it first came out. I don't know how many of you remember Mortal Kombat because it's still around now, but I won a few Mortal Kombat tournaments. I was a big gamer back then, and then I just decided I got to spend some time doing some other things, so I moved away from that. But I used to do that a lot. I used to be a big Mortal Kombat fan, Street Fighter, a couple other things. Words with Friends is another one. I've played this with my brother, and this is one that I'm at the store shopping, and he does something, and then and it sends me a link, and then I go back and I say something to him on there, or I try to one-up him on whatever word that he puts down. All right, I'm going to show you two others, and then we're gonna move on here to one other item. So, let me see. Anybody play Heads Up? Couple of you, good. Now, this is generally played when you are with people in the same place, but since we're all on lockdown here, and you're wanting to play with family members, again, you could go to Blackboard Collaborate, you could go to Zoom, you could find some way to meet virtually. And remember, Zoom is 40 minutes for free. We just got the green light on using Blackboard Collaborate. But you can see here with my video, here's my phone, and what I would do to play Heads Up, and this is a challenge, but we have to make do with what we have, is make sure that your video is clear enough that they could see it, but you cannot be looking at yourself in the video. So you'd hold it up like that, bring it down, hold it up again, bring it down. And you'd have to modify a little bit, but you could still have the fun of the game by doing it through Zoom or Blackboard Collaborate or whatever software you might have for a virtual meeting with your family. Okay, so this is one that has grown in increasing popularity. Has anybody made it a Netflix night? Anybody done a Netflix party? Bars turn restaurants every night. If you have a Netflix account, and Sergio says I do Netflix parties with Juan, and it's very fun. If you have a Netflix account, you can enjoy a Netflix movie, TV show with your family members that are in lockdown in another house. And so obviously you can Google this. There's a little bit of a descriptor right below here. But this is a way for you to meet with family members, enjoy a movie, but you're doing it from the comfort of your home. So you have Netflix, your family members or friends have Netflix, you can do a Netflix night as well. So think about that, Netflix party, I should say. Adrian says that one suggestion for a Netflix, 5 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Isn't it 6 degrees or is it 5 degrees for Kevin Bacon? 5 degrees of Kevin Bacon. I think it's 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Maybe, maybe not. So somebody put a heart around that woman, and now we're going to just delete that file there. Just a quick aside before we move to the other item on the agenda here is I'm 100% certain it's 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. But you may be aware of this concept. It's called 6 degrees of separation. And the theory goes that we are 6 people apart, 6 or less, from knowing everybody in the world. We are between 1 and 6 people apart from knowing everybody in the world. And so they've run tests with this, where somebody in California needed to get a package to someone in New York, and they just tried to do it by word of mouth. Do you know my friend John from New York, or do you know someone from New York that might know John? I need to get this package to him. And within 5 to 6 people, they were able to find someone that knew that person in New York and give them the package or send it to them. They found that I think there are people in the United States that were 6 people apart from knowing Kim Jong-un, the North Korean dictator, the brutal North Korean dictator. But 6 degrees of separation is we're 6 people apart from knowing everyone on the planet. And they've done some tests with that, and it kind of just blows your mind, and that's where 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon comes from. Interesting, small world after all. All right, now some of you may be familiar with the game Kahoot. There's a free version of Kahoot, and you can create your own quizzes. You can find quizzes on there, and then you can set up your own game style of trivia play. All you need is a computer or a laptop. Well, a laptop is always a computer. I should a desktop, a laptop, a tablet, your phone, an iPod, an iPad. All you need is a mobile device or your computer, and you can join a game for Kahoot. And I have one set up here to try with you if my computer will cooperate. And hopefully it's not slow, and I apologize if it is. But let's see if it'll work for you here. So, are you seeing this on the screen? Let's see.
Yes.
Yes, you are. Okay. So what I'm going to do is start one of the games here, and hopefully it will behave itself, and we can try to do a little El Paso trivia here. And if you've never played this before, you're going to, on your mobile device, on your mobile device or on your computer, you're going to go to Kahoot.it, which you see at the top of the screen here. It's not .com, it's .it. If you have the app, it's even easier, but you're going to go to Kahoot.it. You're going to type in this pin when you're prompted. And remember, this game is free. This game is free, but it also is, there's a paid version that gives you a couple more features. So you don't have to pay for this, and you could play it with your family members or friends, either through Zoom or through Blackboard Collaborate, which we're going to see if it works now. Is everyone still there? Are you seeing the screen? Okay. Are you seeing the pin, or should I reshare? Okay, let me, these are the follies of using, sometimes you get some surprises here. Let me see if I can share it again, and let's see if it'll behave itself. If not, I'm going to share the link with you, and then you can try it on your own with your family or friends, because this is one that does some El Paso trivia, and then we could you could try it with your family or friends if it doesn't work. Okay, let's see if I can get it to behave itself. How's that? It looks like it's coming up now. Okay, there we go. All right, let's try it here and let's see who does well. Hopefully the game will cooperate. If it doesn't, then we know not to play it on Blackboard Collaborate. Adrian, Manny. Remember, dear students, you are going to go to kahoot.it, not .com, and then you'll type in this pin. I'm rooting for I'm glad I have some fans out there. Let's see, who are we waiting for here? Okay, Norma says she's still loading. Whenever you show a screen like this and you're waiting for people to join the game, it's good to just kind of have some banter with them and try not to just have silence. You know, call out the names on the screen, talk a little bit, chat everybody up, and then you can ask here. I can say, type out in the chat box if we're still waiting on you so that we know. That way you know everybody's trying to get involved there. Norma, if you have poor reception, I don't know if you want to join on your computer instead of your phone. On your computer, you can go to kahoot.it and type in the PIN number. Okay, so maybe in another 15 seconds, and then we're going to get started here. Now, if you're slow to join and the game starts, you can still join the game midway in as long as you have the PIN number. So on the bottom of the chat here, I'm going to just give the information just in case you need it. Kahoot.it, and I'm going to put the PIN in here just in case you get kicked out. Wade is just okay. He's all right. Thanks. I need to know who's behind these names. And I'm gonna plug in one other item here while we wait. Let me get to this. If you're in a communication class, or you've got family or friends in a communication class, here's my link to some of my instructional videos on communication concepts. Or if you cannot sleep at night, you can go to those videos and they'll cure your insomnia. All right, shall we? I'm going to hit start here. And thank you. Everybody subscribe because I'm close to 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to hit start here, and hopefully the game goes forward without any problems. But I'm apologizing in advance if it doesn't. Here we go. El Paso used to have live alligators downtown. What do you think? Thanks for binge watching the video, Sergio. There we go. It's true. I think one of them got, I thought one of them got out once, and that's why they got them away, because there was some issues with that. Who knows? All right, let's see. You remember, when you play this game, the person that answers the fastest is the one that gets put in the lead. So if you're part of the Wade fan club here, then you're in the lead here. Wade's got the top 3. All right. We got a bromance going on here. If you Google the answer, you might find it quick, but you may not. Who knows? But you got a 25% chance if you're guessing. Blake. Blake's, I always thought true was the first one, but it's usually they put false before true on Kahoot. Let's see what we got. One person got it right. Type your name in the chat if you're comfortable doing it. Tell us who put the 6-shooter capital. Who got that right? Anyone? Well, I guess we're going to find out when we check the listing here. Wade is just okay. Is now in the lead. Thank you. So let's go to our next question here. You may know this before you see the picture come up. I'm coming, Wheezy. Yep. I shouldn't have given you 60 seconds there. I think that one was pretty straightforward. Oh yeah, Manny, that's the wrong guy. That was Sanford and Son, I think. Okay, this is Sherman Hemsley. Somebody put Linda Brown. Dr. Brown is a communication professor over at Trans Mountain. He lived in East El Paso, is what Norma is saying here in the chat. He always commented on how wonderful the weather was in El Paso, and may he rest in peace. All right, let's see who's in the lead here. Wade is just okay is on fire. Maybe I should have spelled that right, but it should say, or there's an extra word in there. It should say what other cities are located in El Paso County. Now select all that apply here. Select all that apply. You got about 30 seconds. Oh man, it should have. All of those were right. You know what I think I did is I forgot to put the multi-selector in there. Okay, I Love Wade is number 2. I gotta tell you, I'm rooting for I Love Wade over Wade is Just Okay, because they've made a commitment there. The other one is just, he's all right. So you can put these things in your Kahoots where you're not asking your family members to answer a question for points, but you're just asking them to share something. So you can ask your family members to share a favorite moment with someone. Maybe you do a Kahoot for their birthday, and the quiz questions are for that family member's birthday. You know, you could put mile markers in their life or see who knows the family member the best by putting in certain details about their life. And then you could put this in there for the birthday Kahoot, for that family member or friend, where you put share something, share your fondest memory with this family member. So if you've never seen this feature before, it's pretty neat. Right when the 20 seconds winds down here, you'll see how the messages pop up, and it's easy to gather everybody's opinions or comments pretty quickly. So notice how this plays out here. It will not show the answers unless I click it, the moderator, and then it'll show them here. What is your favorite thing to do in El Paso? Hang with Wade, hang with Sergio, kiss my girlfriend. Okay. I'm glad on the top of the list. Don't tell your girlfriend, she'll get upset with that one. Chico's Tacos, hiking, golf, hiking. All right. Let's get back to the competition here. Got 30 seconds on this one. All right, let's see what you got. They were the Tucson Padres, not the original gangsters. The El Paso Diablos were the original gangsters. Okay, moving right along here. Manny is now in the lead, and Wade, thank you, are, you guys are embarrassing me here. The rest of you here are in second, third, fourth, and fifth place. All right, moving on here. Word cloud. In 20 characters or less, describe El Paso, Texas. All right, let's see what we got. Small but loving, fun in the sun, home of... All right. Almost done here. Ooh, double the points. See if you remember your El Paso history. There we go. She was El Paso's first mayor. Okay, Manny's still in the lead, but just barely. Let's type out your answer on this one. Type out the name of this El Paso eatery. Remember to hit submit. We knew it was your favorite, Sergio. That's why we put it up there. And Norma, that's right. got 20 seconds. Making everybody hungry here. Okay. Actually, you were right, but I typed in Chico's. Nobody got any points taken off here. But this is something to remember when you set up a game for your family. You get 3 different alternatives for a name. So I should have put Chico's, Chico's with a apostrophe, and then Chico's Tacos in there. That way your family members, if they have an alternate spelling, then it will show up on there. Okay, no points lost. You can do polls with your family when you play for family game night. You can do this where you're just getting everybody's opinions on something. Okay, there we go. So El Paso Chihuahua's baseball is 50% the favorite. And then UTEP football and UTEP basketball. Nobody's a hockey fan on here. I thought you would be, Blake. Maybe you are, but maybe one of those other ones. All right. Moving right along here. 2 more. El Paso is the blank capital of the world. There's a hint on the screen. It is the boot capital of the world. El Paso is the boot capital of the world. Gail has shot up to 2nd place. And here we go, the last question of the day. This is a sorting one. You have to put these events in the historic order that they occurred. So you're going to use your finger and you'll move around, or you can use your cursor if you're on your computer, and you'll move these around to the order that they go in, and then you'll hit submit. Thanks, Blake. Hey, you got about 25 seconds. Let's see how you do. Okay, 20% of you got it right. Oh, so the El Paso Mission Trail is established. Has anybody heard of this? I mean, it sounds like it was more interesting than the battle at the OK Corral. 4 dead in 5 seconds gunfight. That kind of sounds like a Dallas Cowboy game. 4 injured in 5 seconds for the Dallas Cowboys. If you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, you can feel my pain and you know what's going on. The city's landmark Plaza Hotel opened, and then Elizabeth Taylor visited. So that's the order. Sergio says in the strongest terms possible with capital letters that he hates the Cowboys. All right, let's let's see how this went. Manny H, second place. Who got first? Gail, nice work. Adrian, fourth place. And that's that. Gail's a historian, so of course that last one was right up her alley. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second here, students, because we're coming up on everybody out there. I shouldn't just say students, but you can have a Kahoot. You remember there's a free one. You can do it for a family member's birthday, and you do a virtual event for them. Everybody's doing these drive-by parades for birthdays. But an interesting way to celebrate would be everybody's online, and let's say that you get one family member that gets everybody on Zoom. And I'm just giving you an idea that's kind of off of the family game night thing, because I did something like this for a family member. You have a cake ready for them in the kitchen, you light the candles, you get everybody on Zoom, or in this case you could do Blackboard Parade, and then you call the person in and everybody's there singing happy birthday to them on Zoom. So it's kind of like everyone is together during the COVID lockdown, but they're there with you virtually. And then you could do a Kahoot, where you do trivia of that person's life, and then from there you see who knows the most about the person, and then you can also put some comments in there. Type out a fond memory you had with this person. And then you can also do it just for game night. You can put some trivia up there and somebody moderates it, and then you can decide which questions you're going to ask. Maybe you ask about a football team, maybe you ask about family members, trivia about family. Maybe you do it about El Paso, or see who knows the most about a movie or a particular interest that the family has. So you can do that there as well. The biggest thing that you're going to need for family game night is those family members that are tech savvy, and that it's safe for them to work with other family members that may not be tech savvy. Either they can sit with them for family game night, and it's safe for them to go to their house and work with them, or maybe they live in the same household and work with them. You want to be as inclusive as possible. You're getting people together, and they're not frustrated with the technology. They're just enjoying each other and enjoying a game and participating together. Again, you can do it with family or friends. My suggestion is to start with the easiest game so that you can get people used to collectively meeting online, and then maybe you can progress to something that may be a little more challenging to get people to get involved with. Stephen and whoever else enjoys the talks, I do. Blake and Gail and the whole library staff loves to continue having the workshops. So there's some summer workshops. I did one on podcasting, and there's some other content on the YouTube channel where I offer some information as well to students. So I'll be back, not to steal Arnold Schwarzenegger's words, but there's always some community things going on, so we can continue interacting. Does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns before we finish up for the hour? Nope. Okay. Gail, it's on you.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. I like that one for El Paso. So I'll be trying to do some more of those. But thanks so much. Thanks so much, Wade. It was fun. We all had a good time and got some ideas. Maybe we can do these things for Thanksgiving, since we all can't get together. So maybe these will be something we can do. But I'd like to thank everybody for coming. He was wrong. Thank everybody for coming, and I invite you guys to remember that there is a Tejano Passport link I'll post it again in the chat box. So remember, you can get those points. I'm going to post the file so that you guys can see how to do that if you're interested in getting those Tejano points. You can just go to the website for the Tejano passport and sign up, and then you can put the code that I'm going to put in the box. And then I also want to invite all of you for next week. We're going to be having some more events. So for next week, the event on Wednesday is actually going to be provided by the Emergence Health Network. It's going to be on suicide prevention. And so there's actually a way to register for this event. You will need to register in advance. And I'm going to put that also in the chat box for you if you guys want to go ahead and click on it and get ready to register for that if you're interested. If not, just watch for programs that will be coming out in your Blackboard page in order to register for the one on Wednesday. And then on Friday, we're going to get together again, and Culinary is going to be here, and they're going to show us how to create some healthy breakfast bars and some trail mixes. So that'll be fun right before we start getting ready to eat for Thanksgiving too. So I hope you guys all have a great weekend. Thank you again, Wade, for presenting. We'd love to have you again to do some more. And I hope you guys have a good weekend and stay safe.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Gary.